It is Monday, a new week, August, what this, 15th, I think. Um, First, let me get my tweet out before I forget that. Okay, that's done. Secondly, apologies. I told you guys Friday that I was going to be opening up the golf plot for those that wanted to play around and test on it, but as some of you may have noticed, I really wasn't online much this weekend. I kind of got sick. It was really worse yesterday. I'm feeling much better now, but it was a pretty rough weekend, so I didn't go quite as planned, and I apologize for that. The plan I'm going to do is after the stream today, I'm going to open it up, and we'll hang around for a little bit if any of you guys want to check it out. But tomorrow during the live stream, I will attempt to, I guess play a game by myself, or if one of you want to hop in the game while we're streaming and come join me, we'll try and show how it looks. I still am not quite familiar with all of the controls and stuff on it, so it'll be good practice for me, but yeah, we're going to save that for tomorrow. Excuse me. I would like to mention, yeah, I think I did it. Did it not go through? I think so. Yeah, there it goes. It's there. Thank you for the reminder, though. And good morning, Boy. Yeah, like it's got a delay of like, it's kind of like the stream. It's got a delay of like 30 seconds or so. Um, uh, Another mention about KBT update. I don't know if some of you are aware, but there was like 3 or 4 updates like last week, towards the end of the week, like bam, bam, bam. So if you've updated the add-on recently, you might want to check and make sure you have the most update version, because the latest thing that Katya added was, let me look at this right. She calls it the set transfer. The way she describes it is receiver makes a new set to receive the transfer, selects and toggles on, quote, RECV, receive, I guess receiver is shorthand for receiver. The sender selects a set, targets the receiver, and clicks exfer for transfer. And then the receiver's receive button will toggle back when the transfer is complete. Transfer is limited by the in-game private communication bandwidth limit. The limit is much higher between friends, so if you want to transfer, it's best to friend each other first. So I haven't tested it out. I have no idea how it works other than what the description was right there. That's in her actual KBT thread, discussion thread in the housing subforum on the official forums, if you want to check that out, so you can see it word for word how she describes it. In fact, I don't even think I've updated it since she mentioned it, even though it says it's, you know, okay. I haven't updated it to have a look. Like I said, I wasn't feeling good over the weekend, so I've kind of fallen behind on things that I was actually planning to do. You can see I've done a little bit of work to this plot. This is the Catchem residence. I am going to open this up to public today as well. So it's going to be 2 plots that you guys can come visit. One will be Chervil's place, Urvil. It's like the seasoning, I guess, is what Chervil is, but it's spelled funny. So I'll add that to the list of characters on my Twitch channel page if you're not sure about the spelling. And then, of course, this one is, wait a minute, this is Chervil's, and then the other one is, I'm getting all confused. The Catchem plot is on Chervil, and the golf plot is on Fennel, if that is confusing there for you. And Fennel is F-E-N-Y-L, I think. I replaced the I's with Y's or something, and it's just a silly thing for me. But again, I will list those on the Twitch channel page under my side projects characters so that you guys can see if you want to go and visit them. Just remember that the golf course, it won't be functional unless I'm there to be able to activate the add-on. Again, it's up to 6 players can play a mini golf game at a time, but if you have to go when someone wants to replace you, we should be able to just switch you out as necessary, so not a big thing. Also, a reminder that this Wednesday, August 17th, is when the, I call it the part 1 of Red Moon Terra update is to arrive. So I'm expecting a pretty hardy update, you know, maintenance, downtime, and stuff on Wednesday. In addition to that, with the introduction of the first part of the RMT stuff, Madame Faye is going to get a change of her loot table. So everything that's currently available from Madame Faye, that includes the planetary decor, which is like the giant planet, the spacewalk rocks, the asteroid bits, all that's going to go bye-bye. I don't know if it's going to return or not. It's possible that they'll, you know, make mix and match them throughout the year. Maybe eventually some of that comes back as an actual decor set or something. Hey Jamstar, good morning. Glad you could join us. I don't know any of that, but I do know that they gave warning that those things are going to be removed from Madame Faye's loot table when the update comes, and it's going to be replaced with all of that retro stuff, the arcade games. I think I saw it, air hockey, funny looking wallpaper type stuff, NPCs, among other things. So just a fair warning and reminder again that if there's anything like the planetary decor that you want to get a hold of, you might better get to that now before it disappears. Because like I said, oh hey, morning Cheeky. I knew you were there lurking. I just wasn't sure if you were listening. But just a fair, a big enough heads up. I mean, they mentioned this last week, so I think a lot of us are appreciative of that. Of course, many were occupied with the Boss Hunter challenge. I think it's still going on this morning. I assume it's going to switch off with the rollover at noon, but unfortunately I didn't really get to delve into that too much. I think I got to down 2 bosses total, and I got one of those metal mall decor, which I haven't used yet. I have no idea where I would put it to begin with. So I didn't get the carrot toy or anything like that, but I appreciate that they gave us, you know, a little bit of a heads up. I'm sure others would have loved a bigger notice so that they could have, you know, stocked up on things that they wanted. But this is better than nothing. So, well, I liked the rocks, Jam. I liked the spacewalk rocks, especially. Well, I just liked all of them. They're good for mountains. Rather than always using the same old obsidian stones and everything, it's always nice to have different kinds of rock materials to work with, and those are really good for mountains and things. It was just unfortunate they were tied to Madame Faye. I would have preferred those to just be part of the like housing vendor or something. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people using them as mountains and things, and it's come off really effective. Really nice. So, excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to show you first what all I've done to this particular plot. This was mostly done Friday after the stream on Friday. I just came in and doodled around. You can see I filled it up with trees. Mostly that's because the way the windows work on the house, you have to be a pretty close up to have them all show up like they're supposed to. If I was to just leave the trees out, then you would see the house from a distance, but a lot of the windows wouldn't look right from this distance. So I kind of force my visitors to get to a certain distance from the house before they actually see it, trying to make it so that there's not so much that's missing from it. Oh, sorry to hear that, boy. I I do like a couple of boxes or whatever from, coins from Faye, and then I hold off and wait till the next round. My luck is like so sad. The RNG is not with me, for sure. Morning, Bones. Glad you could join us. So basically, I have this wooded pathway. I tried using uh, cardboard boxes as my little dirt path leading up to the way, and then as you come around, there's the house. Now I have reduced the size of it. I went ahead and shrunk it down a bit to be a little bit more scaled to my character size. As you'll see, the door and stuff is still fairly large, but it's not as like Osun size, Now, obviously, the Pokemon and stuff are still oversized. That's mostly because, as you can see, even at this distance and that size, the designs on Togepi's outfit don't show up until you're really close. It's because of the pieces I used and how they render and everything. But I've already added all of the Pokemon that we've currently built to the plot. Um, Ignore that little thing. It was me experimenting with maybe trying to make a water Pokemon, and I kind of got frustrated and just left it, and we'll come back to that another time. But we have the Caterpie over here. We got the Togepi. Notice from this distance, it looks like there's nothing here, but if you get closer and closer and closer, then you see that the Doduo is on the property. Let's see what else. Back here is the Tangela, and that's about it for out here. Basically, I did go ahead and double up the fence like it looks in the picture, and I added a little bit of water feature because there's different types of Pokemon. Eventually, I would like to try and do a flying one and a water one. I know we don't have like representations of, I guess, I don't know, is Ninetales fire? I think Ninetales is fire. We've got like a ghost Pokemon with Ghastly and a couple other things, but most of mine I think are like regular Pokemon. They're just not like super known or whatever, but I'd like to get a water one going and a flying one if possible. Just to kind of have one in each little area. But it's just trying to come up with one that I feel like I can make as a three-dimensional creature rather than a painting that's really tough. Yeah, I think you tweeted you had like over 500 pieces in that Sandshrew, the snow version. That's a lot of pieces. But some of mine are going up there too. I think one or two of them were like 300 and something, and I think that was just the paintings themselves. But if you Google up Ash Ketchum's house, you'll see this kind of resembles this. It's not exact, obviously. I had to use my creative license as far as like the color bushes I've used and how I put them together and where and everything, but hopefully it's reminiscent enough that somebody that's really a fan of Pokemon will appreciate how it looks. Well, yeah, I never thought about that. That makes me feel better, Jim. I did go ahead and install an actual working mailbox inside my faux one. Um, Basically, the faux one is just one of those rocket fireworks. I'm using the stick of it. What's that called? The oh, I don't want to have to look. I know what it is. The Merg explosive, and then inside it is the this little shrunken down Draken mailbox. You can't see it. It doesn't show the little icon or anything. It actually would show up kind of right here, but it's small enough and sunk in enough that you don't see it, but you still get the functioning button as if it was there. So for the mail, I'm just using a cardboard box, a couple of the notes in the bottle, and a couple of the crate tops to look like, you know, mail and packages and things like that. For the fence, it's just the white fence posts, the ones that you can craft. It's well over 100 of these, I think. It might not be as many as that, but it's close. Let's see. You'll notice that I kind of had to rework the back here. The reason for this is when I first moved the house over, like we had it last Friday, I had it pretty much sitting on top of the bunker house. And silly me, I didn't try, you know, going in and then coming back out. Well, later I did that after the stream was off. And what happened was when I would come out of the bunker house, I'd pop up inside this faux house, meaning I would be like trapped. And of course, you'd see all the garbage that's inside the house. So I was like, that's not going to work. I don't want my visitors to get stuck in the house. So what I did was I just pushed it off of the bunker house door. So it's actually right around here. And then I built this on top of it just to kind of make it a little bit more like it's a raised area. And then you can see that the open door pops up right around it. You don't have to actually be sitting on the door itself. I know there's a little bit of dirt going through here, but I can always raise that up a little bit, I guess. But basically, I did this by using an upside down snowy hill. You can see that with the little white puffs that come when I walk across that top. And then just kind of trimmed it with stones to kind of cover up the bits I didn't want showing. Simple as that. So it looks a little odd that there's a raised section here, but I'm pretending like this is a raised mound of dirt, and it's kind of built around it, and that's how you get access to the bunker house. So if we go inside the bunker house, then you'll see that I've actually started off the gallery section. This is where all the paintings are. Now I haven't brought over the Pikachu one yet. I will be doing that later today. It was because there was a few pieces I needed to craft and I hadn't gotten to it yet. And then by the time I did get it, I kind of got sidetracked with other things. And I started not feeling very good Friday evening, and so I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But you can see we have the Ninetales, the Tangela, and the Ghastly. So I don't know if I'm going to make this room smaller, just to, you know, once the Pokemon thing is done, I'll just box it in and just have those that are completed on display and just kind of make the room a little smaller than it actually is, so it doesn't look so empty. Or maybe I'll just leave it up, and as I find inspiration, I'll come back to this theme and add new ones at a later time. I have no idea how I'm going to do that. For the Ninetales jam, I used mostly mops. It's just mops. It's just the top end of the mop. We used them one time to make a bunny rabbit in a different art gallery thing, but yeah, for the nose and part of the eye, it was vent tanks to make the little black dots, and then the red is just the top of the red rocket firework. But you'll probably notice a little bit difference. The neck was a little different in the picture that I tweeted out. Later when I looked at it, I was like, ew, that looks weird. It still looks weird to me, but it's better than it was, I hope. So I adjusted a little bit on the live painting, but yeah, just lots and lots of mops. Okay, so today we're going to try and make a Dugtrio. Um, I know that I think it was Zodi that made the Diglett, which is the baby version of the Dugtrio. The Dugtrio is the evolution or whatever. Uh, well, I don't think it has to necessarily be on top of a snowy hill point. It's the way the Protostar Insta Hills work is they copy the ground no matter what. So yeah, if you have a flat snowy hill like plateau or whatever built up, and then you add another like a Protostar hill on top of that, of course it's going to match because it's really not matching the snowy hill, it's just matching the ground below. But yeah, there's all sorts of strange combinations you can do. I just wish, um, uh, again, I wish that those kind of building blocks like the Protostar Hills and stuff weren't attached to the actual cash shop. Yes, I know there's ways of getting it through Omnibits, but it takes much longer and it's more frustrating for those that want to really use those in their plot, especially newer players. Um, I would have liked it more if that was something from the actual housing vendor. I think more people would be using them if that was the case. But yeah, I'm sure there's some really interesting combinations that you can make. It's just like you can actually turn the snowy hill sideways and have it mimic, but it just stretches the texture, so it makes it look a little weird. So I don't know where to put these guys. I'll just put them here, I guess, in the dark. So I've been trying to think of how one might do the Dugtrio. Now, going by the Diglett that Zodi made, I think she used the bottom of one of the trees, either the palm tree or maybe it was a post of a banner kind of thing. Um, Anything kind of brownish wood uh, tone color would probably work. The little critters themselves, let's see, do I have my little reference picture here? It basically looks like a hot dog sticking out of the ground to me, um, like an old dirty hot dog. Um, so I don't want to use the same material that she did, just to give you guys some different options for different things. So uh, I think I can come up with two different ways maybe to approach it. So basically, I would start with an exile dome for the top. That'll be the top of their head. And again, we're going to kind of oversize this just so that it matches the kind of gargantuan size Caterpie over there, that kind of thing. You can size it down later if you want, but we're going to start off with the big one. So let's straighten this up first. I will say that I did end up straightening this up as well. I kept adding things to it, and you remember Friday we kind of turned the house a little bit at an odd angle, and I ended up moving it back because I kept adding things and it was frustrating me, like the fence and everything. I wanted it to line up straight, and I was having trouble with that, so I just put it right back at the right angle again. I don't know, I'm very weird about that. So anyway, there's the top of his head. We're going to do another one over here, and we're going to make two different types of bodies. So you could just go with the what is it, the cylinder? Now the only thing about this is you're going to see the white little bit here. It'll look like he's had skull surgery or something that has been kind of topped off right there. If you can get past that, this will be a good way to make that tall little, you know, you can imagine the little pink nose right around here and the eyes right about here, that kind of thing. Granted, you may have to be a little bit more creative with the eyes because it is a dark type of coloring here, the dark brown. With the black eyes, they might not show up very well, so you might have to get a little creative on that part. Another way of doing it is maybe using the hover part pieces, the now there is a kind of a dome-shaped piece, but I think it's got this little bit of a lip, so it doesn't quite have the right shape. And if you kind of like try to size it down so that it fits inside, then you have like this gap. I don't think this will work very well for this particular shape of critter, but you can still do this part. Wow, it's always so huge. You can do the donut. It's kind of like the thing that we used for the trash can on the golf plot. Notice you have to really size it down quite a bit. What I'm going to do is to see. Now this will take a lot more pieces. For me, to be economical, I would go with this one. And that's probably what we'll use, but I'm going to show this anyway just so that you can see it, how it looks. Maybe you like it better. I suspect I'll be able to hide the line a little better, or maybe not have it show up as much. That's why I want to show this. So. Let's just get our ring made and then we'll adjust the size. But again, doing it this way is gonna take quite a few extra pieces because you got 4 pieces per layer, and you're gonna have to make probably 1, 2, 3, about 4 layers. So that's, you know, quite a bit more pieces than just the 2. It's simplified here. This is a little bit more complex. It might not even have the right look, but this is what I do when I'm experimenting with, you know, putting different things together. You try different materials and then you pick your favorite. It's kind of like when we did the Caterpie. We tried several different bushes, and then I ended up going with the one that looked better to me. So, and sometimes when you're doing that, you discover other interesting bits that you might not have otherwise considered. Put this one on top of here. Probably not going to be exactly centered in this, whoops, partly because do it this way so I can see a little better. So 4 is too big, 3 is too small. Let's try it there. So flip this. Gonna just change it up just a little bit so I can hide that line. See the difference? It's a little less out there that there's a joint there between the two pieces. So if the line really bugs you, this is a way to go, but again, it's just a little bit more expensive as far as decor wise. Oh, okay. Let me just write that down again. I have it on my list somewhere. Is it actually called sand shrew? The snowy sand shrew, or does it have a different name? Do you know? If you don't know, I'll see if I can look it up. But you can see how you can kind of hide that line if you use these pieces. But again, you'd have to oh, I forgot I logged in on somebody else and I got a bunch of junk there to go through now. Let's see. Let's just add a new one. We'll call it Doug. And then but again, you'll have to layer this up quite a bit to make it extend however far you want. Okay, well, I'll just note that down. We'll just say the snow version of the sand shoe. Okay, then we'll do another one. This may take 5 of those things. That didn't look like it lined up right. One more. So see the difference in that it's basically the same shape, maybe slightly smaller. That's just because of how I had to adjust the two meeting up. But one has the line, one doesn't have the line. It depends on how picky you are about that kind of thing. For me, I would still probably go with this one because there's fewer pieces. Granted, I still have quite a bit of room, so I could get away with using just this one as well. We're going to make both, so Pokemon Sun and Pokemon, well, it's getting a little too complicated for me. I know there's like tons of what they call them generations. You know, they're talking about the different, it's like they have the starter Pokemon that they're different for each generation or something. They mix and match it. Well, I don't know about that stuff. Like I said, I only dealt with it when my son was little and was playing with it himself. So past that, we haven't really kept up with it. Okay, so probably the next big thing to decide is the type of little ground bits that makes it look like they come out of the ground. You could go with if you want to go with like really quick and simple and make it look like there's rocks and stuff in the stuff, I would say go with a I can talk here. Let's see, what am I looking for? Dome. I would go with a Draken dome that has like a rocky feel. You just push it down and you have this little mound of rocks and stuff. It's not lumpy per se. It's smooth, but you could like just do multiples of it at different sizes maybe, and create a little bit of lumpy surface if you want, sort of. It's not really, not super lumpy, but, and the rocks change size as well. But I think for just this very simplified version, just this will work fine. And then you'd sink the little heads of the Dugtrio inside there, and that would be good. If you want to get a little bit more complicated, I would say you want to use a mixture of dirt and rocks. Yeah, boy, that's, and sometimes, like I say, it's kind of like you can Google around and you can find things, but maybe it's not what you think it is because there's just so much information. It's like the pictures of the Pokemon. Sometimes it looks like maybe it's somebody's version of what it looks like, and so I have to keep looking. Like I like go to the Bulbapedia, I think it's called, um, some kind of official site because I want to make sure I get an actual picture that look. It's like the Dugtrio, the picture I'm looking at, they just have like regular eyes, but in some pictures they have like angry eyes. And I was like, well, do I want to do the angry ones or the regular ones? So it's just kind of, just up to you how you figure it out. Okay, so dirt and rocks. For dirt, I would say I would probably go with, I want to say sandbags would probably work the best. Just size that up however big you need and then sink it down, and that makes you your little patch of dirt. And then if you want rocks and stuff in it, just, just stick a few in. And then I would probably put the Dugtrio in first and then place the rocks around them, that kind of thing. So let's join this little fella. And I'm going to start positioning some inside this dirt stuff. I have to make sure he's all the way snug inside there. This is the back one. Now he's a little higher than the other two, so find the one we were using for Doug. Clear that. And then the one to the left in the front, he's a little shorter, but not the shortest, so we'll put him about here, I guess. I may actually need to make these a little taller. This looks about right for him, so let's bump this, whoops, bump him up right about here. And we'll just add a piece to his, so he's going to have like two little stripes. Let's join that just in case we need to move him later. And then a third one, or trio means three, so you gotta have him in here. And he's a little tilted, but we'll do that in a second. We're just gonna get him about the right height. Like so, sort of. Oops, moving the wrong part. So there's that one. And then if you want to do the same thing with this one, I'm probably going to add well. We'll add those later. Let's see. Add these to the top. I say add, I mean link. We're going to link these to the top one. Here, this. I see that's 21 pieces for one as opposed to 2 or 3. So big difference. But again, it depends on if you're willing to accept that this got that little ringlet on there. Okay, so let's put the middle one in first, I guess. We'll add his bottom in there in a minute. Clear that. And we'll just extend just like we did the other one, but we have to use more pieces to do that. One more. Technically, I probably only have to use a couple of pieces, but oh well. See the difference in how it looks, you know, a little bit more complicated. Let's, we're gonna switch these, I think. This is like the minimalist approach. As few pieces as possible for this one, and then this one is going to be a little bit more complex. So now we throw in some more rocks. You got your cheap version and your expensive version. putting them in randomly wherever it's like it needs it. Something like so. Maybe not so much dirt, but anyway. Okay, then you have to think about their facial features. Um, they're basically two eyes and a big pink tight nose. Now, again, we don't have too many pink things, but we do have the pillows. And there's two different versions. You could go with the red one. It's not like too red, and depending on the lighting that you have, it might appear more pink than red. But just due to the nature of where I've got these at the moment, I'm probably going to go with just the regular pink pillow. There's also the one that costs renown. The only thing about it is it has the stitches mark on the edges. So, you know, depending on what you want for that. So we'll probably just try the pink. Now, there's probably other items that have pink. I would assume you could probably check out some of the orange stuff. There's some pink bits here and there on other decor, like some of their furniture, I think. But we'll just go with the tried and true pink pillow here. I'm hoping that just due to the way it's shaped, that those tassels won't be showing up, which it looks like they're going to, so that's going to pose a problem. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get that to show some pink without showing the tassels. Which just basically due to the shape is going to make it even more difficult. Oh gosh. Maybe if I just do it this small, no one will notice. Kind of looks like a pig snout because of the little two flowers. It looks like a snout. Maybe the other one would be better. Let me see. See, there's this pink we might could use. I don't know. I think it's a darker pink on the bottom. Yeah, it's not even pink, so that won't work. Let's try that out before I buy. Probably why red would probably be used more, just because of its being easier in some of the pieces. That might actually work better. Yeah, we're gonna go with that one, I think. A little bit more pricey. All right, Bones. Have a good day at work. Thank you for coming by anyway. Now their noses are kind of like little, like not quite ovals, but sort of. So I'm trying to kind of capture that shape. Another one of those things disappear at a certain point. Kind of doesn't look right. Trying to think what else has pink. Floor, fence, face. That little thing, I don't know if we can use that or not. Really big. It's got the hoot owl showing. Let me turn that around. And it's got the leaf sticking out the top. That's not going to work there. I can size a bit more. Still got that goofy leaf. And now the bottom parts start to show up, so that's not good. So probably not that. Night Jam, thanks for dropping by. I don't know, this like I want to say the dresser has like some pink feet, but again, it's going to be complicated, you know, just due to the shape, how much space you have. This might be the best bet. Let's see, if you go with red instead of pink, you probably find a few more pieces that will work. Like, well, the edge of this would probably be okay. The only thing is this will light up green because it's interactable. You might could go with the tips here, but you know, you might have trouble with the white showing out where you don't want it to. Again, this part might work okay, or maybe one of the handles, but again, it'll light up green because it's an interactable and it's fairly expensive renown wise. Trying to think. Wish these were categorized where you could like say, well, I want something with this color and just look it up through that color. We could try the pillow, Chua pillow, I guess. See how dark that is. Yeah, I think it's just going to be too dark. I mean, we're already kind of in the dark here anyway. I just don't think that's going to work. So we'll just stick with pink pillows. And deal with the fact that some of it's not going to be visible until you're right up on it. Notice I'm putting the nose right on the line for these here. I just might as well try and, you know, do your best to kind of cover it up a little bit if you can. It seems like a good spot for it. And then we'll just use the same ones over here. Again, I'm kind of putting it right on that line, just as a guide. One pillow just doesn't look right on these for some reason. Last one. Okay, so there's all the noses. Now for the eyes. The eyes are kind of like, again, they're kind of like elongated ovals. And it's, on this picture I'm looking at, they look like three different shades, like a gray, a black, and a white. I don't think we'll get away with that so easily on this. We're gonna try. I don't know. Yeah, I've got a few extra picket fences, so it should be enough for these. We're just going to drop in the eyeballs here. Eyeballs. See how I like the fence post? Even from a pretty good distance, you have to get really far for it to disappear. Let's see. Probably need to bump that up about a little bit. Just doesn't want to turn, does it? There we go. Oh, crooked in his eyes. Ah, he's all googly-eyed. We'll get it, we'll get it. A little better. They're kind of not real close, but not super far apart. It's kind of like right, I'm lining them up with the edge of the nose, kind of about where they are. Okay, for the black part, which I don't think is going to show up really well, we'll probably use the vent tanks, but for the gray, and I think probably to try and get the shape of the eye a little bit more defined, I want to say that maybe the suitcase would work, but I'm not sure. Just see how this looks first. Just want something to kind of define the shape of the eye first and then lay in the other things on top of it. See how even that doesn't really show up too much? That's what I'm worried about. A little too dark. Oh, did you like the fence? Yeah. Like I said, it's expensive because it's I don't know how many pieces altogether it is, but like let's see, I'm not even sure. What those are joined to. Where is that? Where's that button? Oh, okay, I gotta go way over here then. Just gonna see maybe how many pieces this thing is. Just to kind of give you an idea. Oh, just this little bit here, that's it's 55 pieces, and there's still this back part here in the bottom row there. So like I said, it's probably about 100 or so pieces altogether We're pretty close. I mean, it's just, you know, there's the posts that are the vertical and the horizontal. It just adds up really fast. And notice I didn't take it all the way around. It's just the 2 bits. So, yeah. I don't like his eyes. What's wrong with his eyes? Needs something lighter, like a light gray, I think. What would work for that? What kind of fences we got? Most of our grays are pretty, I guess I'm looking for something pretty silvery. Wonder if that would be kind of weird. It also needs to be something that can streak down fairly small, but still have it show up nice. Maybe this work. Try it here. Probably not, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Just to see. Why isn't that working? Oh. Might help if I give it an actual size. Getting there, I think. Definitely shows up better than the suitcase. Need the black for his pupil thingy. Yeah, it's really, again, you could have used the regular picket fence, but you know, everybody uses the same looking fence, and I just wanted to try. And again, I was really going for it. It's, you know, while I'm not exactly a perfect match for the house in the pictures that I saw, I wanted to get as many pieces to look very similar to it as I could, and sticking with the fence style is important, I think. So again, it's not exact, but it's close to it, and I think that was important. Okay, vent, and spell it. Got the weirdest eyes. something like that, like really elongated or something. Instead of having a black trim on the eye, it's kind of more like a blue-gray kind of thing going on there. So the idea is to get one eye kind of like you want it, like you like it, and then to try and replicate that. So let's link all these pieces together. We'll link it up to probably the inspost here. Easiest, I guess. So that was 3 vent tanks, 2 tables or benches or whatever that thing is, tables, and a fence post. Actually, let's link that up to that top table better. Move it down and leave it there. There we go. I'll leave it on link to the eye, the white, because that's easier to click on. Okay, so now that we have the eye, go back to Doug. Clear. So that's 6 pieces for the eye, just one eye. So again, keep that in mind when you're building these things, because it might not be very decor friendly. Again, keep in mind you're working with a curved surface, so you're going to have to make adjustments so that, you know, it lays on the surface of his face nicely. And then you just get him into the position that you like. That's not too bad. Oops. Looks pretty surprised. He's like, hmm. Okay, and then once you get those set, you should be able to join them up together. Now you have a 2-eye set, and then you'll go around pasting all those in. Notice they're kind of sticking out from the bit. Want to get really tricky with it, you could push it in even further, I guess. Keep in mind some of those edges might not stick around. Yeah, I think we'll just leave it. Okay, so I'm gonna see, what was it? This one was the parent. Yeah. We're gonna clear that, add the 2 eyes, and then we're gonna start sticking them all together on the other faces. a little creepy with eyes detached, just floating around there. And again, just do your best to kind of get it the same distance from the nose. Again, they're kind of lined up with the edge of the nose and not like super attached to the nose, but there you go. And then again, and remember this one's kind of at an angle, so you'll have to make that adjustment as well. He's kind of more like so. Go off a little bit. There you go. So there's the simplified Dugtrio. Again, it's just very basic, just two pieces, mostly for the little Dougie dudes, and then just a Drake and Dome for this one, for the, to simulate rocks coming out of the ground. These, however, are a little bit more complicated, mostly to try and avoid showing that line too much. It's still there, you can see it, it's still there, but it's not as pronounced as on the other bunch. Ugh, my stomach is like making food noises like, feed me. I'm gonna have to go and eat some grubbage. And make adjustments to the curve of the face. Make sure like the distance between the nose and the eyes are about the same for each one, because it's supposed to be just the same little critter, I think. Hi, Kruja. Thanks for joining us. Okay, and then one more time for the final set of eyes. Remember, he's at an angle, so you'll have to adjust it. Woo, he's like just all over the place. Something like that. Pretty close. There's our double Dugtrio. Double, triple. Again, this one's a little bit more pricey as far as decor because it took a lot more pieces to build the little hot dogs. And, you're adding in your own rocks and things for the dirt. Again, you can get as, pricey on it as you want. You want to add more rocks, you just add more rocks. There's no thing that says you have to leave it completely just full of dirt. Maybe one over here. And another one here. See, I'm raising the price because I'm looking for more rock bits, but you don't have to. You can just leave it as empty or whatever. There we go. So there's your two different styles. Again, I kind of prefer this one because it doesn't have the lines, but I like this one because it doesn't cost as much decor-wise. So, you know, it'd be up to you. Look, the googly eyes. Yeah, they turned out okay. Not too bad. Again, you have to be up close to kind of see all of the detail. So it'll be fun trying to sort myself a nice screenshot of that, but just some ideas. I mean, you know, it's one of those things. This is a good example of, you know, you can tell 3 or 4 different builders, hey, I want this, and they're not going to build it the same. That's why, like when we do these CBDCs and things, like say if well, like with the appliance challenge, we had a lot of people building the same stuff. It's okay because there was none that looked exactly alike. Even if I had specifically said, I want some, you know, I want you guys to just build a refrigerator, we would have gotten a half a dozen different looking refrigerators because while we all have access to the same pieces, we all see them differently. We all combine them differently. And this is a good example of how you build the same thing but in different ways. There's similarities like the noses and the eyes and the general shape of everything, but you know, you can see how different it looks and decide what you prefer. It's just like when we were building the Caterpie with the different bushes. Find one that you know you think you like and then go with that. So, yeah, good fun. Even with the pillows kind of disappearing here, that's not too bad. They still have that pink nose, a little more rounded than I would probably like. Maybe I should just let's see if I can change this up. This is what size is it? 20? Those are 15. Let's see if I can bump that up a little bit. No, it's gonna bug me. It needs to be smaller. I guess I could just make the nose a little bit bigger and that would bump up the size of the side ones, but then I think the proportions would be wrong. So yeah, just have to be up close to take a good screenshot. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you had fun watching this little mini build. And I hope, really, more importantly, that it gives you some ideas on different item combinations. You know, you can use the same elements. It's like working with furniture and stuff. You might have the same basic idea, but use different materials and it looks completely different. You know, this ground opposed to this ground. You know, maybe someone would prefer the simplified version more. That kind of stuff. So yeah, remember I will be opening this up today. It'll probably be within the next hour. I will set it up. It'll just be a matter of me getting onto my alt and unlocking it. I also will be unlocking the one for the golf course. Again, this plot is Turville Greenleaf. It's Churvil. I think that's how you spell it. And then the golf course will be on Fennel, and that's Fenyl, Greenleaf. Most of my alts are all Greenleaf, so if you see a Greenleaf running around, it's usually me. Unless you're on NA side, I think Poi has a couple of Greenleafs over there. But the golf course, we will be going there tomorrow on the live stream. I'm going to try and play a golf game either by myself or with someone else if they want to drop in while we're on the stream and just give it a try. But I'm going to leave this one open so that you guys can kind of see these up close and see all the mistakes I have. There's like, you know, floating parts that probably shouldn't be there and things that aren't lined up exactly perfect. But it might give you an idea as far as some of the things I've used. Maybe you didn't see it in as well as you'd like on the stream and you want to see it up close. So from here on, we'll probably be just building directly on this particular plot rather than on Dill's plot. Dill's more my tester plot. But I will be opening this up for those that are interested. And again, the golf course will be open as well. Now, once the golf course is open and you guys have seen it and everything, if, say, you want to host an event for your guild or just a group of friends, or again, you just want to try it out, feel free to contact me. I will try to make myself available for those that, you know, I may not be participating, but I'll be there online so that the add-on works for you. Unlike Katya has one it's set up where it runs 24/7. I don't have the smarts, so I'm figuring out how to set that up. I think she offered to teach me, and I was like, because I think it requires you to just be logged into the game constantly on an alt or something, and I don't think that's really for me. But I'm happy to, you know, arrange some time. Like, you say you guys want to set up a game for your guild on Friday night or Saturday night or Sunday night or something. Just give me a poke. We'll work out a schedule so that that can be possible. Because I know, like with the wild ball and everything, she would like set up tournaments and things. I don't know how to do that kind of stuff to make it fair for everybody. But if someone wants to take that task up and wants to do it, it's not just the golf course you can play on. The wild ball field is still there, still playable. So either one, you know, maybe have a little into the summer, you know, guild games or something, and you want to do that. So. Feel free to contact me and work out arrangements for that. I will do my best to accommodate whatever you guys are aiming to go for. As Poi says, don't forget this month's CBDC is Pokemon theme, hence the Dugtrio there. We are having the showcase. I believe it's on the 29th. It's still a little ways away, but the clock is ticking. So if you have some projects that you're wanting to work on or wanting to finish up, be sure and get busy on that. Remember to let me know the plot name, faction region, what it is that you built, so that I'm not, you know, trying to guess what it is. Because again, I know some of the Pokemon, but not all of them, so it'd be helpful to kind of tell me what it is. And we will get those onto the showcase at the end of the month. Reminder again, there is a new KBT update. There's been several, so you know it's just good to check. Her latest is to include set transfers. It's something like, rather than me mailing you the code or whatever, I can just, you know, set it up with you to actually transfer it in game by just clicking on you and saying, you know, transfer that set. It is limited on how much it can transfer, so if you're a friend, it's better. But I guess it allows more information to be given to and from if you're listed as an actual friend in game. So keep that in mind if you have any trouble with it. And again, August 17th, this Wednesday, is when RMT is due to come out, and that means Madam Face stuff is going bye-bye. If you have some things on Madam Phase that you've been wanting to get hold of, like those spacewalk rocks, the planets, and all those little alien NPCs and stuff, now's the time to do that. Your time is running out. Again, I don't know if any of these items will be returning in some form or fashion down the road. I hope so, but you never know. So take advantage of their availability right now, because once the 17th hits, it's going retro. They're going to be bringing in lots of like psychedelic colors and bling stuff, and maybe that's for you, maybe it isn't, but you don't want to miss all the stuff that's there now. So anyway, I hope you guys had fun. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate the follows, the retweets, the tweets, the votes, the general support. You guys are the best, and hope to see you again tomorrow. If not, definitely join us on Wednesday. Those are still scheduled to be our tours. I believe it's Dominion's turn this week, so that should be interesting. And in the meantime, good luck with your projects, and have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye.